Hi YouTube, Coinpicker here. Here's my thrift store finds for the week. Now, what I lack in quantity, I make up in quality. So we're gonna do a recap. Remember a couple weeks ago, I found this English porcelain, which was, you could say it's Imari styled English porcelain. And it's from the early 1800s. And it is considered ironstone ware, I guess. See the marking impressed on the back. Pretty nice. And this one I got earlier than that, but the age of this is, I'd say about 1830s, 1850s, a little bit later. You could tell by the inked marking right there. But still pretty cool. So these two plates, European plates, were based on the Japanese Imari style, because you could tell by the colors like the orange, blue, cobalt blue, some green, a little bit of pink, and white. Now, just the other day, I picked up this piece. Now this is an truly authentic Imari, Japanese Imari charger plate. Got this from the Salvation Army for $6.99. It always happens, you know, I spot this after I leave the store, after going through it. I saw it in the window, had to run back in to have a closer look. And actually one of the store volunteers mentioned that she just put it out. It always happens. But if you could tell, the colors, the color palette is basically very similar. This is a Meiji piece. That means it was made from 1867 to 1912 period. This particular one, probably in the middle of that range, I'd say like 1900s, 1900 maybe. But this is a later version of what these two were basing their style on. So the granddaddy of this plate, or I would say, inspired these two plates. So you could say they are like cousins from the same grandpa, but an ocean apart. But this is pretty cool. It also has some marks and there's no damage, thankfully. So this was probably hanging on someone's wall as a decoration or on some sort of plate holder. But it has a marking under the glaze right here, very faint in kanji or Chinese character that the Japanese use. Right under, it was stamped on the porcelain and then glazed over. And from top to bottom, it's two characters, which is the name of the kiln. It is Yama-toku. Yama-toku. So Yama means mountain, Toku, I think it's something to do with reverence, something auspicious. The name sort of eludes me, or the meaning. But those two characters is the name of the kiln. Very nice quality. And if you notice, basically the blue is under the glaze, but the other colors like enameling were on top of the glaze and then fired again. So some of this color, like the orange and the greens, they were done, oh, and the sort of burgundy on top of the glaze. It's very reminiscent of what the Chinese did around the same period, which is called famille rose, which they had these cartouches, but instead of flora and fauna, you know, the animals and plants and stuff like that, they had people and scenery, but they were known for a certain group of colors. in addition to these cartouches, little scenes. Most of the time they had like some gold, like gilding, gold color. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting comparison. I mean, they're very comparable, very similar yet different, very unique in their look. But yeah, I just made that connection. But value-wise, I would say this is probably about $100. Yeah, about $100. This one, I would say a little bit less, maybe 50. And this one, being the biggest, and you could say original, I would say between $100 and $200. But going back to the name Imari ware, Imari actually was not the town that created this style. It was actually the town that, it was the port in which all these wares were shipped out to the west. The actual town was called Arita. Arita that first was known to produce the stuff. So it was made in Arita, transported to Imari, and then shipped out, over the Pacific. So it's very funny in a way, or ironic, that it's known by the port that it came out of, not the actual place that it was made. Interesting, Imari ware. But yeah, I thought I'd show you, introduce you to these 3 plates. And they were all thrifted. I'm pretty sure, let me see, I think all 3 of them came out of the Salvation Army thrift stores. Different times, different occasions. And of course, very cheap. Of course, Coinpicker, it has to be a good deal before I buy it. But just compare the designs as well as the similarities of the color palette. This one, the quality is actually very good. Just the level of detail. Yeah, these are the, I guess, type of things I would actually collect. I don't think I would resell for the time being. I enjoy them too much. Just too much history, very interesting history involved. Cross-cultural, what have you. And compare just the design of the Japanese version. So there is a little bit of color loss because this was on top of the glaze, this design or pattern right here. But it's a minor loss. I mean, better than having chips or dings or what they call flea bites, those tiny little chips. But $6.99, that was a bargain. Yeah, very interesting. If you're new to my channel, please like this video. It really helps me out, gets more people seeing my videos. Really appreciate that. Anyways, I hope you like this presentation. Please comment and definitely subscribe. Coinpicker out.